The visions haunt me and shattered my mind. I am not glad to have witnessed the last stand of my gods. I see them time and again whenever I close my eyes. This knowledge is what I sought as a seeker. Now I wish I could forget it. The divine court succeeded in finding a place where the veil was thinnest, where at last the veiled might be opened up to them again, should they be able to forge a key, that is. It was far from Immerin shores, in a dank and fetid place on another land, at the site of slaughter where two countless armies had met their bloody end. So many souls had passed in such a short time that the veil was torn and rent. Even here such passage would not be easy. The gods had to conduct a rite incomprehensible to mortal minds. It was this lingering, this gathering of ritual strength that would be their eventual undoing. It enabled them to be tracked. Humanity's dark twin found them. She did not reveal herself, but she did call upon her unholy allies. She told them where to go. In crossing between Cain and Urcain, the divine court would pass through a void, an emptiness in all realities, a place that was nowhere, yet connected to everywhere. It was like the surface of a stagnant pond into which the infernals could cast their lures, their hooks, their nets. So, in the moment of their return, as 7 members of the divine court expended so much of their strength to dive through the veil, they were ensnared and dragged elsewhere, to the grounds of the infernal's choosing, where all the advantages were theirs. Even in this direst of calamities, my gods were not so easily subdued. They fought well. At another hour I will sing of this battle of my gods, for it was glorious, even if horrific and tragic in the end. They fought a horde of infernos beyond number, led by masters so powerful they might as well have been gods themselves. None fought harder than Osiris, the sovereign of conflict, consort to Lacria. As his end came, he sought to shield his lover, the mother of all elves, with whom he had fought side by side with. His last act was to hurl a wounded Lacria away from their battlefield, past the shells of connecting realms, together with her divine raiment that marked her as ruler of the gods. His protection almost came too late, for she was bleeding and greatly diminished, her divine vitality all but spent. Reduced to little more than an echo of what she once was, she fused into her mantle as ruler of the gods. Lucinar and Nairo, gods of summer and day, also fell, consumed by darkness. I know not the fate of Lilith of autumn, but I have seen her stricken and wounded, screaming as her mind shattered. I have seen her set adrift and bleeding into the void. A worse fate was in store for Ilisla, the goddess of night, suzerain of the fallen, who had once protected the gates of the Veld, and who had welcomed the dead into the afterlife. She the Inferno seized and captured, binding her in the hope of turning her into a key to unlock the Veld and thereby gain access to Urcain. This goal they still work to achieve to this day. We would not recognize Elisla now. The goddess we knew is gone. Whether she will open the door that must remain closed has not been revealed to me yet. I worry I am allowed to live solely to help them find that door. At the outset of the clash, Lacria had enough power to send Skyra away. Lacria told Skyra that she alone had the ability to shield their people, possibly to bring about a rebirth of the Divine Court. Skyra did not welcome salvation, believing that she should have fought alongside the others. Her relief at enduring is a shame she still carries to this day. 7 was the number of gods ensnared. Nisur, Father Winter, was not amongst them. He had already gone his own way, guiding his chosen people far from Ios, in hopes of securing a different destiny. Yet in the hour of their capture, Nicator sensed what has transpired and could not turn his back from his family. He went to them at once, using all of his craft and cunning, though he arrived much too late to do anything but witness their eventual defeat. Without him, more might have been lost. Nicator seized Locria's mantle and escaped with it, following the path that Skyra took. Seeing her drifting off course, he helped guide her back to Cain, so she could return to Ios and watch over her people. In time, after both had returned wounded and diminished, Nicator realized Locria's mantle might restore Skyra, allowing her to inherit the powers of the Narcissar of Ages, that last little remnant. But to see this come to pass, he'd have to stop his own fading, which required sealing himself in a vault of pure ice, together with the mantle, while Skyra fell into a deep slumber. He left instructions to his priests, who sought to make peace with their Iosan cousins, but were turned away. Where is the mantle? That fragment of Locria that might have heralded a rebirth? I weep to say that I do not know. When Nicator's vault was shattered by an undead abomination that was once an Iosan lord, the mantle vanished. I fear it has fallen into the void between worlds and is lost forever, together with any hope of salvation. So, even the heroics of gods are undone. Once more, nearly all paths lead to darkness. There is a glimmer of hope, but it would require all the peoples of Emerald to unite, to put aside their petty differences, which has never happened before. All share the same foe, just as it was under the Orgoth.